Welcome to the Trip Tales podcast with me, Kelsey Graves. Let's jump into a new episode exploring a vacation destination that you'll want all the details about.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Trip Tales. If you've been feeling like you need a little rest and relaxation in a beautiful place, settle in because today we will be talking about the beautiful and easy to get to Riviera Maya in Mexico with Rosie, who has been to the area 6 times and already has another trip planned. So welcome, Rosie. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I start every episode with a rapid fire get to know you, so tell everyone where you live, what you do, and about your family.
So, I currently live in Columbus, Ohio. I'm originally from Los Angeles, where I was born and raised. It's my husband, myself, and our 2.5-year-old daughter, Cece.
Oh, sweet Cece. You initially reached out because you wanted to share about the Riviera Maya area and why you love it so much, but also about the fact that you were a big traveler before having a child. And now that you do have a child, a bit about that travel has changed. So tell us a little bit more about your travel style pre and post becoming a parent.
Yeah, this is a great topic because I feel like for a lot of people who are like travel obsessed, like myself, transitioning from a single traveler or a traveler with just like one partner and then having kids is a huge change. And for me, it was almost like I love being a mom, but it was almost like grieving a part of me that just felt so distant now that I was a mom, right? Like
I completely understand that.
it was just such, it was really a drag. I didn't like people tell me all the time things change when you have kids, when you start a family, but the travel part of my life was affected so much um, that I had to find ways to incorporate like my family and travel and just really come to terms with, hey, this is like my life now. Let's embrace every moment. And one day I can get back to that, right? So prior, pre-kids, I was like, go, 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 spontaneously booking, taking maybe 3, 4 vacations or trips a year. And then post kids, it's definitely taking a lot of planning, a lot of stuff. So I'm getting more right now into slow travel and making things that are just easier for my family.
Yes, I completely resonate with all of what you said. I have 3 kids, and I always say my hardest transition as a mom was going from 0 to 1. Like a lot of people will say from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 3. But for me, it was 0 to 1 because I knew my life was going to change and I wanted a child. And like you said, I love being a mom and I would never change that. But I really didn't realize how much your life completely changes when all of a sudden life's not about you anymore, almost at all. And so it's a big shift. And for travel, especially 0 to like 3 or 4, the amount of stuff you are packing. Like you used to be able to get on a plane with a backpack if you wanted to, and a passport and a bottle of water. And now it's like the strollers and the diapers and the wipes. And oh my gosh, do they need formula? Are you breastfeeding? Do you need to pump? Like it is so much work. But I will tell you, it gets way easier.
Yeah.
And building little travel lovers as they get older is so fun because now my kids almost only require a backpack and a water bottle themselves. And
Right.
I make my oldest like show me how to get from point A to point B in an airport. And that's super fun to watch. Like I'll be like, you get us to the gate. And just knowing that she will be able to go off on her own and travel someday is exciting. So it does get easier, but it is a very big shift. I agree with you. Okay, you love the Riviera Maya area so much that you've been 6 times, and one time you even drove between all of your favorite cities. So tell listeners about why you love this area so much.
There is so much to do in the Riviera Maya. It's easy to get to from a lot of places in the US. I think the value that you are getting, the type of vacations you're getting, for what you're paying can be affordable, and it ranges from so many. From an Airbnb, I once paid like $25 a night at an Airbnb.
That's
Um,
crazy.
to, $1,000 a night at a luxury, all-inclusive hotel, top-notch, five-star, all that. So there's so much variety that you can do. The area is absolutely beautiful. The people are very, very friendly. And there's also like the Mayan culture. So it feels kind of like magical, like celestial. If you get really into like the history, there's just you can even appreciate it more. So a lot of people maybe just go like for all inclusive, but if you just read a little bit more about the history of this place, once you're there, you realize, wow, this is magical. This is amazing.
I agree. For a lot of those reasons, my husband and I decided to go on our honeymoon to the Riviera Maya. I guess it would be, gosh, I should know this off the top of my head, but I think it's 17 years ago now. Um, but I had done a lot of research as well, and I landed on Playa del Carmen for the
Mhm.
specific reason that it was actually a very cool city outside of the resorts. And, we were newlyweds. It was more affordable to get to than some other places. We were young. I was like 24, going on 25, a baby. But so we flew to Cancun. We went to an all-inclusive. I don't remember the name now, but it was lovely. But we did venture out of that all-inclusive a couple times and go into downtown Playa del Carmen. And I just loved it. It was this like thriving, vibrant city with the coolest bars, open air restaurants, so much culture. And we did do some of the Mayan ruins and we swam in a cenote. And the word magic is such a great way to describe the area because there did seem like there was so much history and culture and magic there. Swimming in a cenote is one of the coolest things I've ever done. It was clear water in a cave. Um, and then for my 40th birthday, I returned to the area with a bunch of girlfriends and stayed at Atelier, which is a little bit north of Cancun, near Isla Mujeres or across from that area. And again, for the reasons you said, it was like I looked at all these options, but my friends were all over the country. Everyone could fly direct into Cancun. Um, we all arrived at different times, but it was easy enough for everybody to transfer to this resort. It was gorgeous, and the rooms were generally affordable for a 40th birthday if we all bunked up. So it was just like I've been a few times as well, and I love it down there, and I hope to continue to go.
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of the access and how to get to things and how to do excursions, it's just easy.
You also mentioned in your notes that you love the Secrets brand of all inclusives. I've never been to a Secrets property myself, so tell us why you love this brand so much.
So again, back to value. I feel not all of them are the same, but they used to be AM resorts. Now they've been taken over by Hyatt. So for those that are into the points game, this is huge. Because you can now make reservation with points, right? At the Secrets property. But the Secrets property is like it's affordable for the value that you get. And you can find some amazing deals. Like if you want to book like a package like on Expedia or with a travel agent, there's usually really good packages that you can do. And for the most part, the service is amazing. At all the resorts, all the Secrets brands that I've been to, the service has been amazing. Their partners are Dreams, which is like their Secrets is like adults only, and Dreams is their family friendly, like sister partners. So I just feel like the service is great. The rooms are amazing for most of the properties, and there's just a lot to do. It's kind of like you can't go wrong.
I've definitely read that with Secrets, specifically, there can be a range, kind of like you were attesting to, of some are like amazing and some are okay. So, like, do your research. But today we're going to be talking about a specific one that's new to me, but I just heard about it on another podcast. And I'm like, this is such an interesting property for a variety of reasons that we'll be talking about. So today we're going to be talking specifically about Secrets Akumal. That's Akumal, Akumal, which some of you listening may have never heard of before. Like Rosie said, secrets are now a part of Hyatt. So you can use Hyatt points, or as many of you already know, if you have a Chase card or an Amex card or some other bank cards, as you're accumulating points, you can transfer those points out to Hyatt. So you literally transfer them from your Chase portal to Hyatt and book that way, and that can get you a super affordable vacation. So, the location of Secrets Akumal. If you fly into Cancun and start heading south along the coast, you'll first pass through Playa del Carmen, which I was just talking about. Then, just before you get to Tulum, you will arrive at Secrets Akumal. And in doing my own research, I found that Secrets Akumal is a bit more removed from the hustle and bustle of Cancun and a lot of that all-inclusive resort stretch, and that it's known for its natural beauty and gorgeous beach. I read that it's good for those searching for white sand beaches and romantic adults-only luxury. It has incredibly calm waters and a stunning stretch of sand that make for picture-perfect beach days. So you visited Secrets Akumal in November of 2020. So tell everyone who went on the trip and why you chose this property.
Yes, I went. It was like we're heading towards that. They were loosening up the COVID restrictions there, and as a traveler, I had uh, uh, itching to go somewhere after being, stuck. And at the time, I was like in LA, so um,
You were
it
super
was I just
stuck.
needed to get out. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just needed to get out, and we found that in November things were starting to loosen up in Mexico. So we decided it was a great trip, and we found an incredible deal going to Secret Sakumal. It was a package. I think we purchased it on Expedia and paid a little under $3,000 for both of us, and it was my at the time boyfriend. After the trip, fiance.
Oh, did he propose to you there?
Yeah, he
Oh
proposed
my
to me at Secret
gosh, I didn't know
Akumal.
that. That's
Yeah,
so fun.
yeah. So boyfriend at the time, and my parents had wanted. They love the Riviera Maya too. Like they're obsessed. So they heard we were going, and were like, "Can we come?" And it worked out because my now husband
Yeah.
had talked to my dad while I was swimming in the beautiful
Oh
water.
my
So he
gosh.
was asking for my hand in marriage, and they were talking, and I would see them, and I was like, come in the water." So they were chatting about him proposing me. So it was great. It was my husband now and my parents that went.
I'd love to hear his perspective on like the initial, you're like, my parents are going to come. And he's a little like, oh my gosh, I'm proposing to you on this trip. And then how it probably ended up working out in the end because they were there for the celebration. But I'm sure he went through a couple of like, this isn't what I was expecting, but okay, we're going to make this work.
That's exactly how it went. Yes.
That is so funny. Okay, how long was the trip?
So we were there for 6 nights. So I like to go to the Riviera Maya a little bit longer. So it was a 6 night stay,
Nice. That's a great
Saturday
trip.
to Saturday to Sunday.
And how did you get there?
So from LAX to CUN, which is Cancun Airport, it's a nonstop flight.
How
So
long
we
is that flight? I feel like it would be kind of long.
from LAX it's five and a half hours.
Okay.
Um, Now that we're in Ohio, it's actually closer.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
seasonal nonstop flights as well. So we flew into Cancun, and then we took a shuttle to the property. Actually, no, not a shuttle. This time I wanted to check out one of the private companies that do the transfers. So we did
Mhm.
like a luxury uh, transfer company that took us there.
Yeah, I've done those a couple times now, and they're not too expensive, especially if you have a handful of people splitting it. So I feel like there's a lot of good ones out there. You just have to like do your research.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, tell us about arriving to the resort. What were your initial impressions?
So the lobby is absolutely beautiful. And for the secret brands and the dream brands, and a lot of these properties that are there's Sunscape as well that are part of the group. You can get your regular accommodations, like your regular booking, but you can also do something called preferred, which is kind of like their VIP package. So for this stay, we upgraded to the preferred, which offers you a private check-in. So we got there, we saw the most beautiful lobby, and you mentioned that you're preferred, and they'll take you into a room, into a separate area. where they will take care of all your check-in stuff. So, welcome drinks, there's mini snacks, little sandwiches. I mean, luxury, luxury.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then tell us about the room you booked and what it was like.
So this was an oceanfront preferred suite. It was beautiful. It had a plunge pool in the balcony and
Fun.
also a hot tub inside the room. So
Nice.
really, really nice. And Secrets and Dreams has their like staple room service box. So it had a box where room service can be placed, like our food can be placed in the box, and then you open it from the other side.
Oh, nice.
Put it in their rooms as well. TV, beautiful shower. Everything was very modern, very clean. It was just an ocean front, so we would see the ocean. We were, I think, on the third floor, so it was just absolutely beautiful.
Nice. And were you guys sharing a room with your parents?
No,
Okay, good.
absolutely not.
Because I do have a lot of interviews where people are like, and we all, shared this room, but
That's
that,
totally okay. You can even make this a little bit more budget friendly, but
yeah,
no,
not on the engagement trip.
no.
Sounds lovely. And with your preferred, like you said, you had a preferred room, you got a private check-in. What other amenities do you get with that?
So the preferred club gives you access to, like you said, like I said, the check-in. They also have like your private concierge. So anything you need, it's not necessarily like exactly as a butler, but it is someone that you can phone and they help you throughout your stay, anything you need. They help you out. You also get a preferred breakfast, so it is away from the regular like breakfast buffet. Some properties have like a preferred section of the beach. This does not. So Secret Tacumal does not have a private preferred section on the beach, but they do have a quiet pool and a preferred pool.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the food because food can always be hit or miss at an all-inclusive. So what was the food like?
So the food was excellent. And for an all-inclusive, because it's hit and miss with these all-inclusive, the food was so good. So this is where what I recommend people that consider themselves like foodies or their number one request is food, like the food needs to be good. I know they'll be happy at Secret Takuma. They
Awesome.
have I have it written here. There's 11 restaurants, 7 bars, Italian, French, which the French restaurant was absolutely amazing. Seafood, Mexican, and then every night they do like either like an open air grill on the beach, or they'll have like a Mexican fiesta, or they'll have like a buffet. So there's always a lot of food options.
And for some of those nicer restaurants, do you have to make a reservation and do you use your concierge for that or do you just show up?
You just show up. You don't have to make a reservation, but I believe it's the Japanese restaurant, the Hibachi Grill. You do have to make a reservation or give them a heads up.
Okay, cool. And then I'm assuming by the pools, you can like order poolside or there's some poolside options there as well for like an easy lunch if you don't want to go, put your cover up on and go back into a restaurant.
Right. There's lunch options everywhere. The beach service, which I think is really important too, was excellent. Like people were available at all times, but they weren't really bothering you. So, they'd come in, check on you, drinks, food, whatever you needed. That's like my favorite. Eating on the beach is just one of my
Yes.
favorite things. And then there's swim up bars as well. If you can get, I don't drink, so I would get like my virgin pina colada or my sparkling water. So lots of options, endless, endless.
Amazing. Okay, we've talked about the beach a little bit and the swim up bars and the pool. So kind of tell us about the grounds and just kind of you leave your room and what's it like walking around this resort between the pools to the beach and all that?
Yeah, so the grounds are kept perfect. I mean, there are people working on the grounds all the time. We walked out of our room, and because we had an oceanfront, we were in the preferred section, so we're a little bit closer to the beach. And the pool is the main pool and the infinity pool. But you walk around and there's places to sit down. There's pools everywhere. I think they have a total of four pools, the main pool being like their activity. It is a large property, but not as massive as others that I've been to that. I think if you have mobility issues, maybe getting a room closer to where you want to be, whatever that would be, if you want to be closer to the beach or the pool or the restaurants, that is definitely something to consider.
Yeah, I read that it has winding pathways and it kind of just feels like all the pools are weaved in throughout. Like you're just kind of always
Yeah.
walking by a beautiful pool and on walking paths and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you come around a corner, you're like, oh, there's another pool. And then there's swim, like if you get a swim up, there's swim up properties. So the swim up properties have their own pool. You're not connected, which is different to other properties as well, is that your own swim up pool, say there's like three rooms attached, beachfront. Those three rooms will have one like long pool that is not attached to the main pool or the lagoon pool or the infinity. That's their own.
Yeah, fun.
Mhm.
Okay, what did a typical day look like for your group on this vacation? Hey, Trip Tales listeners, I'll keep this short. If you're loving the podcast, leaving a review or buying me a coffee is the quickest way to show your support, and it will ensure that these amazing trip stories keep coming. Leave a review wherever you are listening to this podcast, or buy me a coffee at the link in the show notes, and I'll literally do a happy dance when it comes through. Okay, back to the show.
So what's great about all inclusives is that we don't have to all stay together. There's so many things for everybody to do. So also, I think like a great tip for all inclusives, if you're having like a multi-generational trip, family trip, an all inclusive is the way to go because everybody can kind of do their own thing. So we would get up, meet for breakfast if my parents were ready. Then they'd meet us for breakfast and we'd have breakfast and kind of go our separate ways. We'd check out the quiet pool and then reconvene for lunch on the beach. If they wanted to go see a show, they would go see a show and we would, go to the spa or something else. So we did, I like being on the beach. So I love staying on the beach. We checked out all the pools. We were gonna there's a lot of amenities included in activities like kayaking and snorkeling. We didn't do the kayaking because we there's a lot of food available all the time. So we were so full when one of the kayak tours were going out on the beach. So we decided to just kind of skip that. But we did go snorkeling later, and that is included in your stay as well. And the waters are just gorgeous.
Yes, I've heard the beach is gorgeous and one of the best beaches in the Riviera Maya at an all-inclusive, and that they also have there's a lot of sea turtles in the area, or it's like a sea turtle nesting area. So,
Yeah.
did you guys see any sea turtles?
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we were lucky enough to see it. So a part of the beach is a conservation. Akumal, I believe, translate to like House of the Turtle or Turtle.
Oh my gosh, I have to go here. This is my favorite animal.
Really? Oh, you'll love this. So this is something that I feel is like a perk of the very special to this resort is because you have to pay sometimes to see sea turtles on an excursion, right? Like
Yeah.
excursion, they take you out, they take you on a boat or a special beach, and you may or may not get to see the turtles because they're in their natural home in their habitat. But here, because this is where they live and they're nesting and they're just hanging out, if you don't see them one night, you can come back out and maybe see them another day or in the morning, or you change your time. So we had been out there around like 3 o'clock and we didn't find any, and we're like, okay, well, let's just call it. Let's just call it. We didn't see one. We'll try tomorrow. We're on our way back from swimming and we see a massive sea turtle just come right underneath us. And my husband's like, look, look,
Like
look. And
through the mouthpiece. It's
through
like
the
you're trying to
mouthpiece.
yell.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And I look under and it was again magical. It was like a magical experience to see them in the wild, just swimming, kind of gliding, doing their thing. Yeah, we were very lucky to see that.
I love that. That is so cool. So is the snorkeling just right there on the beach? You kind of just like walk up and walk into the water and snorkel from there?
Yeah, they have a little hut where you can get snorkel gear or you can bring your own. You take it out and then you just walk out on the beach and do your own snorkeling.
Love that about the sea turtles. You mentioned the spa. When I was younger, I didn't like always book a spa because it's expensive at all these resorts. But now that I'm getting older, I'm like, this is my time to relax. I'm actually away. I actually have time. So I love a spa on a vacation these days. So tell us about the spa.
Yeah, the spa is beautiful. I feel like everything is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
It really this is really a good hotel. Yeah, same like oh my God, I can't afford a massage or a spa treatment, but I feel like now, you prioritize the things you want to do. And for me it was getting a massage. And my husband is not into massages, but he went with me. I think he paid like $25 to just hang out and do the circuit. So I got a 90-minute massage. It was fantastic. One of the best massages I've ever had. Before the massage, we were out on the circuit, so they have like a plunge pool, hot tubs, like water pressure therapy that you can do. And we went closer to the evening, so there was very little people there. So I went off to get my massage and he hung out and he said it was the most relaxing time. He said he put on his AirPods and was just like relaxing. He's like, I've never been this relaxed. This is amazing. And then they take me out of the massage and they put us back together and then, we went out for dinner.
Yeah, I think looking into those spa day passes is such a great way to, for either the guy if he's not into spa, or even if you're like not feeling like spending the amount on a treatment, even just getting 2 day passes, it's like a change of scenery. The spa is usually so relaxing, and there's like the trickling water or the spa music. It's just a great place to relax whether you're getting a treatment or not. Now I have like other vacations coming up in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to like book a spa treatment so that I have my time to relax.
A lot of like booking platforms. So if you're using like a travel agent, they can get this for you. But a lot of booking platforms give you a $200 resort credit. Secrets, Brands, and Dreams give you, depending on their partners, give you a $200 resort credit. So you can easily put that towards your your spa, or if you want to have a private dinner or some kind of elevated experience, you can use those credits and use that.
Amazing. And are you a travel agent? I feel like I kind of saw that in your email signature.
I am a part-time travel agent, but I always say I'm a great travel agent, a terrible salesperson. Like
Okay, you're not going to push anybody on something
I
they don't want
don't
to do.
push anybody. I genuinely want, like, my love for travel is so great. I want people to just save as much money as they can so they can go out there. So obviously points and travel agents don't mix, but I advise everybody to kind of look into a little bit of the points game, and find those deals. But yes, I do travel. I do have a travel agency part time, and I love doing that. But that's just a little bit. If somebody needs my help, I'm more than happy to help
Yeah,
out. But it's not about me. It's really not about making money for me.
I love it. It's like a side gig for you. Uh,
A side gig. Yeah.
travel lover hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some of the other activities. So there's kayaking and snorkeling. Um, what else is there going on during the day at the resort or during the night at the resort? What are some of the like entertainment and activities like?
Yeah, so they have a lot of aerobics classes. So there was like spin I like to do spin classes. They had spin classes on the water.
Oh,
So he'll bring
that's fun.
life in the yeah, it's super fun. They'll have yoga, they'll have salsa dancing classes, they'll have tequila tasting, coffee tasting. There's so much to do. The entertainment at night, the entertainment wasn't like the best, and I feel like that's like a lot of the case in a lot of all inclusives is the entertainment is kind of hit or miss. They really tried. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
Yeah,
So like the nightly entertainment was just it was okay.
got it.
But yeah, lots to do. There's cooking classes. We did one excursion. We did go off the property and did one excursion, which we paid for.
And did you
That
book that through Secrets?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
do it in the hotel lobby. So
Okay.
you can do it in the hotel lobby. They have tons and tons, and they're very, very flexible. You can do a group or a private. This time we did a private tour, and then my parents did a different one. So they went on their own, and then we did. It was like an adventure where you get like a cenote, lunch is included, RTVs, zip lining. Really, really fun.
That sounds fun. That was yours.
That was ours. And then my parents went to like a day trip at Playa del Carmen. So they had
Oh,
lunch out
love
there, just
it.
shopping, just walking around, people watching. They had a great time.
Both sound amazing. And then for the on-property activities, like you were talking about the different aerobics classes and cooking classes, how do you see what's going on for the day? Like, how do you know what's coming?
So they have an awesome app. They've gone to app and Hyatt has released their all-inclusive collection, right? Which is how they got the Secrets, Dreams, and Breathless brands. So they have an app that you can look at the calendar every day. You can order room service through it. I believe they have opened up like the key. I'm not 100% sure if that's at all the properties, but you can use your phone like to for your room key. Um, and the secret brands and the dreams have an iPad in your room that is loaded with the daily activities, what's going on, and I believe it's on your TV as well.
Cool.
So
So you can't miss it.
very easy. And then you could just call your concierge. If you're, staying at a preferred, you can call your concierge and ask, what's going on. So very easy to find out what's going on.
Nice. Did you guys ever order room service?
Oh yeah. We I think we ordered the ceviche there, which is excellent, excellent. And I'm Mexican. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. My parents are from Mexico, so I have a certain like standard of Mexican food.
For sure.
And believe it or not, a lot of Mexican resorts in the Riviera Maya don't have the best. I don't know, I'm sure it's like,
Yeah, you're like, how are you missing this
how
one
are you
cuisine?
missing
It's
this?
right here.
Yeah, they had excellent food. The ceviche was amazing. Chilaquiles were amazing. Um, so yeah, we would get room service. I don't think I was hungry anytime during the entire stay there. We ate so much and it was just such a like enjoyable. We're gonna eat, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna relax, we're gonna eat some more, and
Yeah,
we had some breakfast. We had breakfast on our balcony some days, which is like my favorite thing to do is like and they have Nespresso machines.
nice.
I'm a big coffee drinker, so all rooms, not just preferred, all rooms come with an espresso machine. So you get your Nespresso, you sit out on the balcony, and yeah, beautiful.
Amazing. That is one of my best memories from our honeymoon when we went to an all-inclusive near Playa del Carmen is every day around like we try to wait till after breakfast time because it wasn't like a breakfasty food, but around like 11 when the kind of like lunchy restaurant opened near the beach, we would go and get pico de gallo, guacamole, and ceviche. And it was so good. We would get it every single day. And I still like think about that 17 years later, how and you could see the ocean just felt like a dream. It was so perfect.
Yeah. And again, about special about these properties that they have 24-hour unlimited luxury room service. So the food you're going to get in your room is just as delicious as you would get it at one of the restaurants. They're very fast. And they have that little box door where they'll
That's
put, if
cool.
you don't want to be disturbed, right? They'll put it in there. And then you just open the door and there it is. And you put it back when you're done.
I love that. I've never seen that before. I'm sure it is probably more common at like an adults only romantic type resort. But because, you might be like relaxing with your soon to be fiance and you don't really want someone in your room because it is kind of funny. I love the level of service sometimes when they're like, I'm gonna come in your room and set this all up. But sometimes it's a little like, oh, hi, I'm like in a robe and now you're in my room. And sometimes it'd be nice just to like, it's like
Yeah,
DoorDash these days. Leave it on the porch. I don't want to see you, and I'll open the door when you leave.
exactly.
You have to tell us about the engagement. Now that I know that this happened on this trip, what a special place for you. How did that happen?
So we went out to dinner. We're gonna go out to dinner. So we get a little bit dressed up. There is a dress code that I think that's important for your listeners to know. There are dress codes at some of the restaurants. So you do have the men do have to wear some kind of like slacks or pants for some of the restaurants, like the Italian, definitely the French.
And
No
a
shorts.
closed-toed shoe sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah. We've gotten into trouble now that we're traveling with kids more. We were on a Disney cruise, and you've probably heard, if you were so sweet to tell me before we got on that you're a avid listener to the podcast, but we got stuck for 2 extra days on a Disney cruise. And so we were like, you know what? Let's go to the super fancy restaurant that we have to pay extra for, but who cares? We're stuck on this ship. And they were like, does he have slacks and closed-toed shoes? And he didn't have pants because we were going on a Disney cruise with our kids. He had swimsuits and khaki shorts. They were so nice to say he can borrow a pair of pants, but my husband was like, no, I'm not wearing someone else's pants. So we didn't end up going. But that is something to look into if you're going to a resort. Like, you never know. You might, if you don't think you're going to go to the nice restaurant, maybe you'll want to just throw in a pair of pants and closed-toed shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you guys were going to a little bit of a nicer dinner.
yeah, we're going to a nicer dinner.
Which
Um,
restaurant was it? Was it the French
I
one?
I think no, tonight it was the open air. They were having a dinner with a show. So you would sit down for dinner and they were doing like acrobatics.
Yeah.
So it was like their dinner and a show thing. So we're walking over there and my husband's like, "Well, let's walk on the beach." And I said something like, "No, let's
You're
let's
like, I'm
just
hungry.
I'm hungry. I want to like check out the property. Like, let's go this way." And he's like, and I guess he's like looking around and it was really dark on the beach. So there's no lighting on the beach at this property. So, but all the grounds are really beautiful. So we're walking down and there's like a quiet spot. It's almost like it's meant for that. There's lights, they decorated with lights, and it's just like an open space in the middle of like, all the greenery. So he starts telling me, he loves me, and he gets down on one knee, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
whole thing. We were moving in that direction, and we talked about it, and very, very talked about it a lot. I wasn't expecting it at that moment, and it was so special. I said yes, we hugged, we kissed, and then we walked over, and my parents were waiting for us at dinner. And that made it just so special. So we had dinner, I'm crying, and we're having the show and the dinner, and this lady next, she realizes that we just got engaged, and we got the congratulations, and it was just beautiful. It was
That
great.
is so
So
fun. And I
glad my
love that you didn't even mention that in your notes. Like it was a shock to me as well to hear that. What a special memory of this place.
right.
Oh my gosh, so fun. I remember when I got engaged and it's like that whole first day and next day you're just kind of like looking at your hand like, is this
Yeah.
real? Is this real? That is so fun. I love it. Every all-inclusive has a different vibe, like a party vibe, a romantic vibe, an upscale vibe. What would you tell listeners the overall vibe of Secrets Akumal is?
Yeah, that is so true. The vibe is so important. This is kind of like a romantic, laid back vibe. There's not really a lot of partying here, so this is not your party location. It is romantic, but it's not like just for honeymooners,
Yeah.
right? Like anybody can enjoy it. So definitely not a party vibe, a little bit more, especially this property. Um, it is if you want a good beach, this is where you go. If you want to relax, this is where you go.
Sounds like a place where, yeah, if you really need to get away, relax, and have that adult only vibe, beautiful beach, beautiful pools, this is a place where you know that you can absolutely relax and not have a ton of that party vibe going on.
But you won't be bored. Like you're not going to be bored. There will always be something to do.
Nice. And you kind of touched on this before, but share a little bit about the staff and the service because I know that's super important for people when they're spending their money and they're booking a trip.
Yeah, service is so important to me. Being have been in different resorts. When you get bad service, you're like, man, I've worked so hard for, saving all my pennies.
Yes.
And there's just like little things that people can do. The service here was excellent, excellent. And the amount of times that they even moved my chair, like I wanted to get close. I think my parents had joined us and we were on the beach and then they came after, whatever they were doing, they came hung out and they moved their beach chairs to be closer to us. And like that kind of little thing is just, to me, goes a long way. And the thoughtfulness that they put into their guests. We're on the beach and they have like this little ice cream cart that they come around to you with, and they give you like a popsicle, like an adult popsicle if you want. And it just those kind of details. It's just it goes a long way. It really does.
I
So
totally agree. I love those little touches on a beach, like a cold rag or a little popsicle. It's just like, oh, you like totally feel like you're on vacation.
yeah, yeah. And I think the I call it the pool game, the chair game.
Yeah,
Like when you're looking to see if there's any chairs available or if you have to go out there at 6 a.m. to reserve a chair. Like I feel like that's kind of part of the service too. And that was not an issue here. There was plenty of chairs on the beach and at every single pool. We never had any issue getting a chair, setting up our chairs. They made it very easy to get fresh towels all the time. So that to me is I don't want to go somewhere and fight someone for a pool, like a pool chair.
I know it's so exhausting.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
So you won't get that here.
Okay, good to know. And then if you were to go back to this exact resort, like with your husband for a getaway, would you book a preferred room again, or do you think people could still have a lovely time without that extra level?
At this location, I don't necessarily think it's worth it. I would
Okay.
probably just book the regular, because the whole beach is accessible and it's so beautiful just to everyone. There's really no need for you to upgrade if you want to, of course, if you want that extra touch. But I feel like they do such a good job with just like their basic, like junior suite and their your basic booking that you really don't have to book preferred. A couple, I think, tips would be great. And this is just doesn't may not just apply to here, but anywhere that you go to an all-inclusive. You have your flight might come in early and your room isn't ready. They do an excellent job at letting you in the property. You can jump into the beach right away. Typically, they're already telling you, like, as you're booking at this location, as you're booking, they're telling you food. You can have food right now at the buffet, or you know what, you came at this time, the food, there's available food here. They do a really good job at letting you know what you can do, from the time that you check in to when your room is ready. So if you have like your purse or your carry-on, have your swimsuit available because you want
Yes.
to get, like, I like to get into the property, get my sunscreen, my pool, get something to eat, and then go down to the pool or to the beach. And then they'll
Start your
tell me,
vacation.
yeah, right away. That's one. Another thing here is if they do have a quiet pool. So if you really want that rest and relaxation, you can hang out at the quiet pool, bring your book out, your earbuds, whatever, and have a really good time.
Love it. That sounds amazing right about now
Yeah.
to me.
One more tip is Akumal is far away from the Cancun airport. So just be prepared that to get to such a beautiful beach, because you probably heard sargassum or seaweed affects a lot of
Yes.
in Caribbean. This location does not have that problem. There's no seaweed there. So to get to this location, it's about an hour and a half from the Cancun airport, about an hour away from the brand new Tulum airport. So just be ready. It goes by very fast, and it's just there's only one main road to get through all the Riviera Maya. So just be prepared in your head that might be a little bit of a car drive.
Yeah, tack on an extra hour or two in your head in terms of actually getting to the location. And yeah, is that Tulum Airport open now? I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, it's open, it's functioning,
That's
and
exciting.
yeah, San Francisco, Chicago was taking flights, and I think they're opening it up now for a lot more destinations.
Okay, yeah. So you guys, this resort is in between Cancun and Tulum Airport. So check both locations when you're looking at flights. You mentioned you have another trip to this area planned already for July. So where is that to?
We are going now, this is a complete turn. We're going to the Nickelodeon resort with she'll be 3 years old. So
Welcome to Travel with Children.
yeah. Yeah, so we are doing the Nickelodeon resort, and we're super excited. She's gotten into Dora and all Paw Patrol, and I feel like it's just going to be so much fun for the kids, but also that like element of luxury for the parents and like simplifying vacation, which we can do a whole nother podcast on like traveling with children. But yeah, Nickelodeon.
Awesome. You're going to get slimed.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, Rosie, I end every episode with if someone out there is considering an adults only all inclusive trip, what is it about Secrets Akumal that would make you say, just book it?
Great food, beautiful beach. Just book it.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing all about Secrets Akumal. This is a property that I was not super familiar with. And now it's like, man, if I need a quick rest and relaxation getaway with my husband or even alone, honestly, one of my closest friends just went to Paris by herself. And I was like, why don't I do that? Like to take a quick trip because it's hard to like get childcare and that whole thing. But this sounds like a perfect place to do something like that where you're just going to get a few nights away, get that rest and relaxation in a gorgeous place that's not one of the super crazy, busy party vibe all inclusives.
Absolutely.
That wraps up another episode of Trip Tales. If you have a trip you'd like to share about on the podcast, email me at triptalespodcast@gmail.com and I'll add you to the schedule. Also, be sure to follow the show so that you don't miss any upcoming vacation destinations. And if you have an extra minute in your day, please leave a review for the podcast. It helps more than you could imagine. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode of Trip Tales.